I've been called a bigot so many times falsely that I think we need to reclaim the word bigot and use it just within our own groups,
I think white guys need to start using bigot like we use the N-word.
Yeah, basically.
Like something you guys can only say and call each other.
What up, my bigots? Let's go.
Oh my God. Bigots. I could be a comedian. That's hilarious.
I'm fluent in Spanish. So I also lived there for 2 years and was raised in New Mexico. So I just say, New Mexicans come in white.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Improv guy.
Beehive's dream and the fruit of... They want you to think that it is unpopular.
Anyone who is bigoted while being a Christian is doing Christianity wrong.
That the enforcement of anti-Mormonism is always shame-based.
It is so much easier to just go the whole route of critical deconstruction on everything. It's so much easier to do that. And you have a built-in audience of like online angry people who hate religion. So if you start going the atheist route, it becomes very easy to start making all of these edgy jokes and gain an audience quickly.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Ward Radio. I'm your host, Cardin Ellis, and I'm joined today in the studio by Kwaku L. and Brad Whitbeck. We're also joined via the Zoom, via the interwebs, with none other than Alan Bentley of Technically Mexican. That's quite the YouTube avatar, the username, my friend. And he's going to talk to us today a little bit about being not ashamed. Be thou not ashamed, he says. And what are Satan's modern day tactics to keep you down? So, Alan, my man, what on earth that you're the most un-Mexican looking technically Mexican person? I assume, are you, what's technically Mexican? What does this mean, bro?
Well, if you're listening on the radio, I am very white. I am not a real Mexican. I get my Mexican lineage on a technicality. I have 3 generations of Mexican nationality, making me technically 1/4 Mexican without a single drop of blood.
Oh, dang.
Are you one of those like Colonia Juarez
Mormon
people?
Colonies, baby. My grandfather was born there. My great-great-grandfather is buried there, and
so you're like Mitt Romney, huh?
I didn't know he was from there, but
yeah, his family's from Colonia Juarez. His father, who was the governor of Michigan, was literally born in Mexico. I think that's why he couldn't run for president, because he was.
I guess I am like Mitt Romney.
What are your thoughts on No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally going to bleep that out for you. I will save you the shame.
Good. I don't like Mitt Romney.
That's funny. It's okay. He's a nice guy. I bumped into him once in Salt Lake City International Airport. I actually literally physically bumped into him. It was pretty kind of funny. So anyway, all right, dude. So what's this talk of Lehi's dream and the modern accusatory fog? Tell us your story and then tell us what you think about being not ashamed, man.
Well, I've recently been reading the Book of Mormon. We just started it again with my 8-year-old son who just got baptized. And so we were going through Lehi's vision.
Rock on, bro.
And just reading, Lehi's vision. And it's, everyone has been taught it from, conception, from their youth. We know all about it. But there was always one part of Lehi's vision that I never understood. And it was the people who had made it to the tree of life, had partaken of the fruit, had already tasted it, and then looked at the great and spacious building and saw the mocking fingers and became ashamed, put down the fruit and left the tree. Like that, I was never able to understand how that was physically possible.
Yeah.
I can
as
sympathize
comedians, we all have myriad of those friends. I don't know what it is, but I come here in LA and it's just like, dude, what are you guys thinking, man? But okay, yeah, keep going.
Well, I sympathize with people who haven't gotten there yet, right? If you're still in the midst of darkness and maybe you're too scared to go through, so you let go and trying to find your own way. I get that, but I never understood, if you've already tasted the fruit and you know that it's delicious and it's eternal salvation, why would you ever choose to leave that behind?
Yeah.
And I realized that it's shame, that Satan's tactic today is to get you to be embarrassed by your beliefs, to shame you
Okay.
into being embarrassed by the church.
Okay, I'm smelling what you're stepping in, bro.
Because, like you said, working as a comedian, I've seen it all the time of these people who just leave the church, and I just didn't understand why they were making that choice until seeing the church's stance on LGBT issues and a plethora of other
It's
issues.
LGBTQ plus IAA.
Two-spirited as well.
Yes.
Right. I can't memorize the entire alphabet. But seeing how unpopular these beliefs are in a modern age, and watching some of my close friends become ashamed of church beliefs, like it finally dawned on me, like, oh, this is what God was talking about thousands and thousands of years ago when he gave this silly little vision to Lehi.
Mm-hmm. It's fascinating to me too, because I feel like the thing to be ashamed of isn't even what we actually believe. It is more often than not a false representation of what we actually believe. Like,
exactly,
it's not even it's not even what we think. That's the thing that drives me crazy about it too, because when people are saying, "Hey, you're hateful here," I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Our religion literally teaches us to love one another.
Yeah, so that list that I've created that's going to become a book, and I won't tell you the title, but it is based off of those first 21 rules of anti-Mormons and stuff like that I published. Dude, guess what the last one is? I put it up on your screen. You can read it out loud for those on radio that can't see the screen. What does it say, Brad?
I'm guessing it's bigot.
It is shame-based.
Yeah.
Oh.
That the enforcement of anti-Mormonism is always shame-based.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's the 21 rules of anti-Mormons, right?
Sure.
And thou shalt shame anyone and everything that you do not agree with. It's always a shame-based argument. It's not a logic-based argument. It's not. They might start with logic, but then it always descends into a shame-based argument. It's where it inevitably, it's like all roads lead to Rome. All anti-Mormon arguments almost always end up shame-based.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like Brad said, it's not true. Like we believe the plan of salvation it's really not as complicated as we sometimes make it. Mm-hmm. If you want to know what heaven is, it's being a father or being a mother. It's having a family for eternity. And you physically cannot do that if you're not living the law of chastity, without a husband and a wife.
So why do so many Mormon comedians go inactive? I have my theories, but there's been a problem with that lately. Like I wish we had more Mormon comedians. In the 90s we did, in the early 2000s we did, but the past 15 years, 20 years, there's been a little bit of a dearth of that kind of action out there. Not an absolute dearth, but less than I'd like to see, and less than we should be able to provide as a culture.
I have a theory.
Okay.
A quick, easy one.
Yeah.
That it's easy. It is so much easier to just go the whole route of critical deconstruction on everything. It's so much easier to do that. And you have a built-in audience of like online angry people who hate religion. So if you start going the atheist route, it becomes very easy to start making all of these edgy jokes and gain an audience quickly. So I think that's probably the first reason.
But you grew up way too wholesome to actually pull off a believable edgy joke, so you just end up looking cringe. That's like always what happens when these freaking wannabe edgy comedians that are really freaking Boy Scouts try and come out and act like there's some kind of urban gangster on the comedic stage.
Dude, literally, when going to New York with Divine Comedy, we went to the Institute of Comedy with some guy who was talking to us and was like, dude, you guys don't realize what you have here.
Exactly.
Like, you have so many jokes that are available for every audience.
Yes.
Like, and you don't realize how difficult it is for your average comedian to clean up their set, to actually make it presentable to a wider audience.
And
you guys
believable.
Are sitting on a gold mine with this, And we were told this by this guy, and then our freaking group doesn't go on to America's Got Talent and avoids all of the opportunities that would have been able to get good comedy out to more people just for dumb interior politics.
What's the fix? I want to do it here.
I want to hear Alan's idea too, because I think it's probably more.
Well, it goes back to the lie. They want you to think that it is unpopular. How many Christians do you see in Hollywood?
Hiding in the shadows like betas?
There's Chris Pratt and like one other guy.
Dude, Matthew McConaughey has savaged his fellow Christians. Like, I have heard him before say, when I got up and I thanked my Father in heaven, I saw people about to stand up and clap, and then they looked around and saw nobody was clapping and then sat back down. And he basically said, I lost a lot of respect for people. Dude, I dig Matthew McConaughey. He's loud and proud, baby.
Yeah. So, I mean, so is Justin Bieber. Like, there's a lot of Christians in Hollywood.
I think it's better to be loud and proud than to be a beta who sits down instead of clapping.
Yeah, but I do sometimes think maybe we were a little bit like, there's a lot of Christians. I sometimes think we pretend like more, it's only atheists.
No, there's a lot more. I wish all of them could raise their hand at once, but what happens is they're all sitting there scared, and wondering.
Part of the funny thing about this is it's the perception, right, Kweku?
Yeah.
Like, you're right. There are more Christians in Hollywood than you would normally think. But that perception spills over into people out in Utah thinking, oh, man, if I want to be successful, that means I have to abandon my Christianity. You know, like, I can't be like a bigoted person. It's like, no. Literally, anyone who is bigoted while being a Christian is doing Christianity wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Alan,
yeah, I've been called a bigot so many times falsely that I think we need to reclaim the word bigot and use it just within our own groups. You know,
I think white guys need to start using bigot like we use the N-word.
Yeah, basically,
like something you guys can only say and call each other.
What up, my bigots? Let's go.
Oh my God,
bigots.
I could be a comedian. That's hilarious.
Kweku, you are a comedian.
Yeah, but I don't anymore. I don't do the whole.
Yeah, the hilarious part is all of us literally have legitimate cred as having started, founded, or launched a new apparatus of an existing or new comedic group. It's actually it's kind of wild, but all of us have some pretty serious credentials as comedians. Like, you were the president of. Weren't you the president of Divine Comedy?
Oh, heck no.
Or was that
No,
you,
no.
Kweku?
No, I never ran for any kind of Divine Comedy office.
Oh, no, but you guys both auditioned, and it's hard to get in Divine Comedy.
Yeah, we got into the only sketch comedy
well,
group
dude,
at BYU.
I was a founding member of freaking Humor U.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day. Yeah, it's crazy.
Divine Comedy was so freaking toxic. Divine Comedy, it was bad.
It
Behind
was
the
in a
scenes,
really bad spot.
They were
ahead,
mean
Alan.
to other groups too. Like they were not nice to the improv.
And it bugged me so bad when they would talk bad about all of the other groups, and I'm like, why would you do this? Why would you talk bad about these other people?
I was never happier to leave a group me faster than when I left Divine Comedy's group me. I was like, bye. I literally stopped going to the after show hangouts. I was like, no, I can't do this. I could not be in. Like, it was. Man.
The saddest part to me was that it wasn't even because of everyone in the group. It was like 2 or 3 toxic influences that that people just weren't able to stand up to.
So what's the fix, man? What are we gonna do? Like, do we need a divine?
Be not ashamed.
Okay, so what's the fix, Alan? Do we need to start a freaking? Well, first off, spiritually, what's the fix? You say be not ashamed. I want you to elaborate on that. But then also practically, what's the fix? Do we need to start our own like sketch comedy group here on Ward Radio? Divine Comedy, that word's already taken.
Let's do it.
Let's just start our own. But so be not ashamed. What do you mean about be not ashamed? How do we alter our behavior so we are less ashamed of how we act as people and as modern members of the church? Do we do what Kweku suggests and walk around and say, yo, what's up, my bigot? You know what I'm saying? Do we make sure that we don't pronounce the T? We just pronounce the A. What's up, my bigot?
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Is that what we're trying to say? Like what? Like, what's the solution here? You know?
Well, it is a fine line too. You know, you don't want to be offensive, right? And there are ways to talk to people who aren't members or who are ex-Mormons without offending their sensibilities. But we also need to know that we don't need to be ashamed of our beliefs, right? Like we know that truth is on our side, and we know that God is on our side. And even if there are negative consequences being excluded from Hollywood or fired from your improv group because you're a member of the church, I don't know who that could possibly have been. Myself. But
were you really fired for being Mormon?
Yeah.
Do you have documentable proof of that?
Not on paper, but I talked to some people behind the scenes, and
Because if
what
they're
it was
willing
for.
to sign an affidavit, I know some lawyers, bro, that might take issue with that.
No, it wasn't a real job, but
Well, yeah, comedy's not a real job.
yeah.
Oh, it's like
No, I'm
it's
just
that
kidding.
little like building right next to Vasa on 9th, right? In
Yeah.
Provo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Ah, okay. Sorry, bro. Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine. I have my YouTube channel. I'm producing a music album and writing sketches. I'm having a lot of fun. So
Guys, Alan wrote the Pocket Monsters the musical music.
I did.
What's that?
I wrote
What's
the music to it.
This was go ahead.
It was a musical that my friend wrote. It was a parody of Pokemon, and he asked me and my other friend to compose all of the music to it. So I did most of the lyrics. My friend did most of the instrumentation. I'm a lyricist primarily, but I dabble in composition.
Okay, so is this your website? This YouTube channel, Technically Mexican? That's you, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, cool. With like the mustache with the M behind it and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, which video is this? I'm gonna play it right now, really fast. so
Oh,
audience
it's
can
not
hear.
on. It's not the Pocket Monsters is not on my
Okay.
YouTube channel. That was someone else.
Yeah, dude.
Like
It
I was
fun,
helping
though.
a friend out.
Oh,
for
okay,
that one.
cool.
Riley and I were the leads in it.
Ah, right.
We were like the characters. You know, if you've ever played the Pokemon video game,
Yeah.
it starts off like that. You name your character. So it was a partially improvised show where you go basically down the route that the video game characters would. So the audience would name you, pick your starter Pokemon for you, and then you'd go through to the final Elite Four challenge match, and then it's like the story is ultimately Ash finds his dad, basically, and it was
That's
hilarious. And Alan was in it too. It was really a blast.
Dude, dogs, you're talented, and you got your YouTube channel, and now you're doing all your comedy there. I'm seeing it. Some of these thumbnails, at least, are hilarious. He says, "Join my pyramid scheme in just 580 steps," and you've got your Patreon.
It's my Patreon.
Yeah, you're like, it's not a pyramid scheme, I promise. Dude, this is really funny. If your first video I can laugh at, I totally dig. And it literally says, "Join my pyramid scheme. I just launched my Patreon. It's not a pyramid scheme, I promise." That is really, really funny, bro. That is hilarious. So, okay, so like, how do we be not ashamed, dog? You've said it a bunch. We're 20 minutes into our cool podcast here.
Right.
How do we get the cojones to not be ashamed, man? By the way,
Well-
in case you aren't bilingual as a technically Mexican person, cojones, that
yeah,
means
I'm
cajones in Spanish.
Yeah, I'm fluent in Spanish. So I also lived there for 2 years and was raised in New Mexico. So I just say, New Mexicans come in white.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so keep going, dog. How do we be not ashamed, bro?
Well, yeah, you just don't. There's not an easy. There's not. What kind of question is that? There's not an easy answer.
I actually, I think I've got an answer for this.
yeah.
Go ahead, Alan.
Well, but you have to make the choice beforehand, right? It's the say no to drugs, right? If you're put on the spot in the moment, you're probably going to be ashamed unless you prepare beforehand and how you are going to interact with the world that's just trying to eat you at any corner.
And I think a really good way to do this is to ensure that you're doing your best to live your religion well. Paul says that he was always ready to give an answer, right, for the gospel of Jesus Christ, and that he was not ashamed of it. And I think one of the key ways we can do that, and one of the key ways we can focus on doing this, is by focusing more on loving God and loving our neighbor. Because that's where the key shame is involved, is in trying to say, hey, you don't actually love your neighbor because X, Y, or Z, right? So I think if we are doing our best to live our lives in a way that we can confidently say, I am doing everything I can to love my neighbor. I am doing everything I can to help bless their lives and make their lives better. I do not judge them for not living the same covenants I do. They haven't made the same covenants I have. So that's not going to influence whether or not I like them as a person and think they are a good person or not. I am going to do everything I can to love them as I believe Christ would love them. And that, I think, if you have that in place, then you have no reason to be ashamed of anything.
Dude, you're going places, Brad. That was a straight up conference talk right there. We now would like to excuse DB Whitbeck and offer.
Those aren't even my initials.
Oh wait, crap! No, it's BT Whitbeck.
Hey,
right?
those were right.
Yeah, it's his middle name's Taylor, right?
Yeah.
That is a great. No, in fact, you should be B Taylor Whitbeck.
Why? No.
No, that sounds much more apostle-y.
Oh my God.
Taylor Whitbeck.
Yeah, Brad
you know?
is not a great apostle
Wait,
name.
Kwaku, he's got the good one. What would your, oh my gosh, with all 17 of your names, what would your apostle name be, bro?
Dude, I am not gunning for any chair. I would hate that job.
The fact that you're on this show means you're safe.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is the equivalent of wearing colored shirts to church and no suits, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's even worse than this. What would your apostle name be, bro? Technically Mexican, that would be T.M. Mexican. What would it? What would it be, dude?
Well, my Christian name it's pretty apostolific. Is that how you'd say it?
Apostolic.
Sure.
Apostolic. Yeah.
There we go.
Sure. If you want to be technical about it, it's Alan Joseph Bentley. So probably.
Oh dang.
A. Joseph Bentley.
Alan J. Bentley.
Alan J. Bentley.
I don't know.
That sounds like you drive the Lexus instead of the Toyota Avalon to the Stake Center. But like AJ Bentley drives a Lexus, but Alan Joseph Bentley, that's apostolic right there.
I'm AJ. Alan Joseph is my father. It kind of sounds like one of those things.
I tried to get, for the longest time, I wanted AJ to be my nickname, and no one would ever call me AJ.
Nobody took the bite, huh? That's funny, man. That's fun. Okay, so then what was the second question? I asked, how do you be not ashamed? And then also, how do we get good comedians back? Hit us.
Sorry, what was the second question?
It just, how to augment good, solid Mormon comedy. But you were going to finish saying about how you be not ashamed.
Be not ashamed. Right? Yeah. Well, to piggyback off what Brad said, as long as if you truly understand the gospel, you would know that it's not bigotry to want people to have eternal life.
True that.
And we it's hate the sin, not the sinner. I have tons of friends who sin all the time. I sin pretty frequently. I'm trying to, I try to be the best person that I am and be a good example.
Yeah.
And I don't cut off association with people who disagree with me or who aren't living the gospel to its fullest. Mm-hmm. But if you want, having that desire to share the gospel and wanting to give people the gift, the great gift that we have, it's not bigotry. And you can't be ashamed of something so sweet. So sweet a fruit.
Yeah, hey, that was tying in the Lehigh reference. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Back to Lehigh.
Yeah, and I liked your little finger spin thing. It was like you're about to do a doo-wop. You know what I'm saying? It was like pretty sick. Like, how sweet a fruit, how sweet a fruit. That was pretty awesome. You are an improv guy.
Lehigh's dream and the fruit of,
No, dude. Oh, we just came up with a segment. We're going to give you a word and you have to improv a doo-wop to it. Are you ready? Live.
No,
let's see. It's
I'm
like when
ready.
you ask a rapper if he can just freestyle right there on the spot. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. We won't put you through that. We'll make people go to your YouTube channel, which is technically Mexican. If you guys don't know what his YouTube channel is, you can check it out right here. Technically Mexican. Just a small little shout out right there in the middle of our podcast. A free mid-roll ad just for you and your YouTube channel, if you will. All right. Last question before we got to go, bro, is how do we make Mormon comedy better, bro? What's it lacking? What's it lacking? How do we overcome it?
Courage, maybe. I mean, you don't need to box yourself into a corner by just doing Mormon content. Like you'd be hard pressed to find Christian jokes on my YouTube channel. Yeah. I just come up with regular jokes and I don't swear in them.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Super easy.
Yeah. That's why Jim Gaffigan blew up. Like he was literally just as funny as all the other guys. He just you could listen to it with your kids without your wife getting pissed. So if you're on a road trip and you wanted to listen to a comedy CD and you had to choose, well, my kids are in the car, so I'll listen to Jim Gaffigan. I mean, even like secular people are like, I don't want to, let's listen to this one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I dig it. Okay. So everything you've said resonated greatly with me. I've got this, they can't see it right now, but it is in the studio and it is up against our library of books right there. But one of my favorite phrases, a phrase that I got from Dave Rubin when I interviewed him years ago. Yeah. I interviewed Dave Rubin and, I said, okay, well, you're in what was then called the IDW, the international dark web, or no, the intellectual dark web. He was part of what was called the intellectual dark web. For those of you that remember the 2018 lore, you know what I'm saying? The old magic of pre-COVID. Anyway, I asked him in an interview, like, okay, what does the normal person have to do to prepare for the times that you say are coming? And he said something so interesting. He said, get brave now. And I just always loved that phrase. I loved it so much that I went home and I made 2 pieces of original artwork out of it with this cool spray paint and stencil thing that I had going on. Oh, are you getting it for me, Brad? Oh, what a stud. He's grabbing it right there so you can see it. I actually made this cool thing that says, get brave now.
That's awesome.
You know, and it sits behind me sometimes. It was a prop on my set for Problem Solver Politics, just to remind me that you actually have to say what you want to say and be yourself, or else you're betraying yourself. And I loved it. It says, get brave now. There's better versions of it inside my house. I put the better looking one in my house, I'll be honest with you. So anyway, yeah, I totally believe everything you say. Get brave now. One of the best things I think the gospel does is it empowers you. You don't have to become a Mormon comedian. It just makes you you just have to become a comedian, because that's what God made you. And then your membership in the church will kind of come naturally afterwards. It might end up being some kind of cool missionary tool, you know? So anyway, any final thoughts before we go? Alan, Brad, Kwaku, anything you all want to say before we cut this off? No takers? Okay, Alan.
I have one thing.
I guess you could say that I said the same thing that Dave Rubin did.
Yeah. You're
Right?
both intellectual, intelligent, handsome, gay.
I did it with less words.
No,
I'm more concise.
oh, that's
Just courage.
be not ashamed. Oh, you said get brave now.
Okay.
You're in a tie, bro. You're tied.
Okay.
So, yeah, Brad, what do you want to say? And then we'll let Alan tell everybody where they can find him. Brad.
There's just one thing I'm fascinated by that I want to see more of, and I'm curious to see if more of this is going to show up in comedy or not. I haven't seen a vaguely positive comedian in a very long time now, and I'm curious to see if that's going to show up more.
Like a Robin Williams?
Yeah, like what happened there? You know, like we've had so many
Matt
impressive...
Rife.
Yes, no, Matt Rife is great.
Matt Rife's great,
He is.
Matt
pretty-
Rife is the MILF and Cookies guy, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
he's hilarious. I'm going to
he
hunt
is.
that dude down for this show, man.
Hey, Alan, I've one
there's Brian
question.
Regan.
That's true. Brian Regan is
But
a little bit
he's
more
been-
positive.
He's done a little bit less work
Yeah,
recently.
he's
though.
been relevant for a decade.
Alan,
But I think there is unexplored territory there where there could be more room for more positivity in comedy that is ways to make people laugh without having to like attack things and deconstruct things in a way that's just toxic and sad. Because I've seen so many toxic, sad comedians. It would be great to have.
Yeah,
he's a handsome devil, too. He looks like he was the star of some football
Yeah,
team.
Matt
you know?
Rife, of course he's happy.
Of course he
Yeah,
is.
'cause
He's got
He's
millions of adoring fans and every girl loves him.
Uh-huh.
And
He's
what is he
able
mad
to
about?
pull chicks and their moms on stage. that's a freaking alpha move right there, dude.
Hey,
Or-
Alan, I got a question. How did you manage to get a camera in front of Shrek's butt cheeks? What is with that backdrop, dude?
Are you the wizard
Well,
behind the curtain?
so
bro?
I'm recording in what used to be a closet in the basement of my house.
So are you coming out of the
So-
closet after this?
And I painted the walls green, and I have a curtain rod that I can put between the walls if I want to do like a green screen video. I could put Shrek's butt cheeks right behind me.
So you should have said, I'm in the green room at Comedy Central about to go on an unnamed prototype program, a pilot, if you will, and then just made it sound like you were that much bigger of a deal. You got to fake it till you make it, bro. So
Well,
anyway,
I mean, as a Christian, I can't lie. So
no, fake it till you make it. I didn't say lie. I just said fake it till you make it. All right. So Doug, where can people find you? Where can they hit you up and see all your stuff, my man?
yeah, I'm on Twitter, but I don't know how to use it. So I'm mostly on YouTube, technically Mexican.
Nice.
I guess if you want like a good introduction to my channel, look up Hollywood Secret. It's my parody song of Victoria's Secret, but making fun of Hollywood.
Hey, by the way, watch out. I'm a Hollywood guy. Born and raised, dude. You offend me, I will come after you as a comedian.
Well, let's do it. Let's
Nice.
fight. Let's do a cage match like Elon Musk and the Facebook guy.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that'd be funny. That'd be hilarious. All right, sweet.
I don't know
Well,
why I forgot Mark Zuckerberg's name in the split second I needed to use it.
yeah, for real. So his name is Alan Bentley. His YouTube channel is technically Mexican. Check him out and be ye not ashamed and get brave now. For more information, check us out on wardradio.com.
Right now, tell me who you are, get in the car. Right now, reach for the stars, I want it all. Right now.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Before you go, please make sure that you like the video, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please let this be the video in which we earn your subscription, and that you press the alert button so you're alerted to all of our fun live streams and standalone videos and community posts. Also, if you'd like to help us out, please consider joining the channel. Members get all kinds of cool perks and benefits. They get early access to a lot of our videos and special emoticons and emojis during our live streams and preferential treatment there. It's a lot of fun. Speaking of a lot of fun, we have a super cool Discord. If you'd like to join our Discord, check us out on wardradio.com. There's a link to the Discord there. Also, you can sign up there for our newsletter. Our newsletter is a lot of fun, and you can put your email address in there. And if you'd like to contribute to the program, please consider looking us up on Venmo or on the Cash App. We're on both of those platforms. Also, if you just want to keep watching more content, right about here and probably right about here are going to be some more videos. Please check those out. And as always, for this and more, please make sure that you look us up and check us out at wardradio.com.
This is what it's like to be one of the best. Moving to the beat, feel the song in my chest. Yeah, you know we turning up, never settling for less. Like, woo, gotta go big to make a statement. Stomp your feet, doing what